Namaste and a very good morning. In the previous episodes, we have learned how we should live. In this episode, we'll be discussing more upon how to be young, how to look youth throughout the day, throughout your life, even if you're 50s, 60s, 70s. The first thing and the first model that you should be following is self-sustainable model. Now, what is self-sustainable model? Do everything all by yourself. Clean your car, prepare your tea yourself. After having your tea, clean the utensils and keep it back to the place. And similarly, all small things that you do throughout the day, including washing your clothes, every single thing, try to do it yourself. What happens is generally we start depending ourselves so much on our family members, maids and other people, wherein you can easily do these small things all by yourself. Let me give you an example. I was in Russia and in a business class hotel. So when I went to the washroom, there was some leakage in the pipe. I went to the reception. There was a beautiful lady sitting there. I told her that there's leakage. Can you please help me out? Send someone, a plumber, so that you can fix the problem. She said, just wait a minute. And I went back to the room and there was a doorbell ringing. And she came up with all the tools. And she got inside the washroom. And without any hesitation, she said, why don't you hold these tools? I took them in my hand and she started doing all by herself. And she said, give me this, and she did it all by herself. Similarly, when I was traveling in Russia in a train, I saw the ticket conductor doing every single thing, giving the bedrolls to the passengers, and they don't mind. I mean, it's a work culture which was there. I mean, so what I mean to say is that if you want to live young, the first principle is self-sustainable model. Do it all by yourself. Every single thing which you can do. You can even fix up small problems in your house, like electricity, if switch is not working, geyser, wire, pipe. All these are very, doable tasks. But what we do is, for every small thing, we wait, okay, we'll go and call the plumber or the electrician. Small things you should be able to fix yourself. Washing your car or your scooter or your vehicle or your cycle. You can do it yourself. Cleaning your room, your working table, your computer, the screen of your mobile, everything this you should be doing, cleaning all by yourself and maintaining hygiene as well. So this is the first principle, self-sustainable, to keep yourself young. Try it. Try to work on it. The second thing which I would like to stress here is self-awareness. In the sense, you get up in the morning, you switch off the fan, you turn on the lights, or whatever you do, be aware. Just think that with the index finger, I am switching the lights on. And it's touching here, the switch is touching here. You maintain your posture and you're aware of every single thing what you're doing. This video is pertaining to more of a middle-aged people, 35 to say 60, 70. It's not meant for youth, because it's difficult for youths to maintain that kind of focus. But as you grow old, you'll start losing many things. Like the first thing that you lose is your strength. The strength part is the first thing that you lose. You lose your reflexes. Every single thing. That means you are going down physically. And when you go down physically, you go down mentally as well. So the principle, number one, self-sustainable. Number two, awareness, self-awareness. You should be aware where you're stepping, which finger, which part of the body you're using to do what. That is very important. So self-sustainability, self-awareness. And the third thing, which is a little different, is intermittent fasting. Now, what is intermittent fasting? Suppose you had your meal last night at 7:30 or 8, between 7:30 to 8. Now the second meal that you'll be having should be in a gap of, say, 16 hours. This, again, I'm repeating, this is for more of a middle-aged and old-age people. When you do this intermittent fasting, that means after 16 hours you'll be having second meals. That means morning, evening 8 o'clock you had your supper. Morning 8 you didn't take your breakfast. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, around 2 o'clock. But you had your morning tea, that's a different thing, a solid food. So if you're doing an intermittent fasting for 16 hours, maybe 18 hours, and then you can again repeat this twice or thrice a week. So it's not that it's every day you should schedule that morning 8 o'clock I should be having breakfast, then I'll be having brunch followed by lunch and evening tea, and in between you should go for intermittent fasting. And as you grow old, nearing 50s and 60s, this intermittent fasting time should increase. So you naturally give rest to the internal organs. And once you give rest to the internal organs, they'll work better. Absorption becomes less as you grow old. So whatever you're eating, even if you're eating the best foods, dry fruits or good salads and all, the absorption part, it automatically comes down. All what I'm saying is not based on any research. Let me again tell you, it's not based on research. It's all based on my personal experiences talking to the people. And it's not that difficult a life. The only thing is, live a youthful life full of energy and do it all by yourself. Now, in the previous episodes, you saw that I showed you some exercises which were predominantly for your lower back and pelvis. Okay, you remember that you started with the L shape in the morning, you got up, you slept for 15 minutes more, making that L shape, and after that you walked barefoot, you sat in a malasana position, you had water, you went to the washroom to change. You remember that plantar flexion of the foot, balance exercise, putting your lowers. Now you did exercises, followed by that you did many of exercises which I showed you should be doing. That were predominantly for lower back and pelvis. But you shouldn't forget your abdomen. As I told you in earlier episodes, that every single cell of the body should be exercised. Your eyes, your ears, your facial muscles, your tongue, your internal organs, by means of breathing, by altering breathing. You can do yoga for altering breathing. So now, if you're doing many exercises for your lower back, you may still develop a lower back pain. The reason being, your abdominals are weak. So today I'm going to show you some abdominal exercises which you can do all by yourself whenever you are free, but not immediately after food. Immediately after food, I stressed on sitting in Vajrasana position. That's a little helpful for digestion. The exercises that you saw in the previous episodes were predominantly exercises for your back and your pelvis. These were the two important areas where I touched upon so that you keep your spine healthy and you keep your posture erect. But even if you do good part of lower back exercises, you need to have a symmetry between the lower back as well as the abdominal, the front. So the anterior and the posterior part of your body should be equally strengthened together. If you only strengthen your back and leave abdomen, I can assure you, you still will have a back pain. And you will think that when I'm doing everything for my back, but I still have back pain. So you should do exercises for all parts of your body, every single organ of your body, including your eyes. As I told you that when you're in red light, you can always go for eye rotation. So every cell of your body requires movement. Every cell of your body requires fresh air. Every cell of your body requires exercise. And when you do exercises, every cell gets its locomotion, the motion causing an equal distribution of strength in all parts of and all organs and all tissues of the body. So today I'll demonstrate some of the exercises for your abdomen. Now, few exercises which you know very well are sit-ups. Sit-ups are something which you can do morning also, evening. But before you do sit-ups, I'll show you some kind of static exercises, you know, where it's kind of isotonic exercises. Iso means same, tonic means tension, where the tension remains same. Okay, so what I do is, I lie down in a supine lying position and I raise my legs 2 or 3 inches above the ground. Not much, because if I take little more, if I increase the angle, the effort will be less. So initially keep up a static position 2 or 3 inches above the ground and try to maintain as much as you can. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Initially you will not be able to do more than 5 seconds. and you will find trembling abdomen. The abdomen would be shaking, trembling. So do this 2 or 3 times. So once you develop a static strength for your abdomen, then you can go for some dynamic exercises for your abdomen, like sit-ups. Sit-ups is one of very good exercises that you can do, but you should always keep in mind, keep your knees flexed when you do sit-ups. This way. Don't go for straight leg sit-ups because this will strain your lower back. So keep your knees flexed, and you can keep your palms on the side of the ears. Don't put it down below the neck because you'll tend to pull your neck, which would again strain your neck, cervical region. So just put it on the side, or you can just put it in front, and you can go up, down, up, down. You can also take your hands up. So these are a kind of sit-ups which would affect your upper abdomen, but then you need to work on your lower abdomen as well, because many times you find a layer of fat here. So in this you can just swing your for lower abdomen. This will work on your lower abdomen. If you are not able to do this initially, you can catch hold of a table or a chair, whatever is available in your house, or a bed down below. You can put your hands that way, and then you can raise your legs. Do it as many times as possible, and just don't do it in one set. Take rest, go for second set, go for third set. So now you have done exercises for your lower back, you have done exercises for your abdomen. So both posterior and anterior part should be exercised equally. So these are some of the exercises which you should be including in your daily routine of exercises. That means for abdomen, the anterior part, the back, the posterior part. Now some of the exercises that you can do any point of time and which you should be doing is keep your hands, palms behind the neck, and stretch your shoulders. Extend it on the sides. Now what happens is, in general day-to-day life, we do activities which strengthen our chest muscles. So the shoulders droop. You know, there's a tendency of shoulder drooping forward, and as you go old, it further increases. So what happens is, chest muscles are strong and back muscles are weak. So you droop your shoulders. So anyone who has drooped shoulders, they can just keep the hands at the back and extend. The movement is around shoulder joint, okay? And it's like abduction type, or lateral rotation you can call. So this you can do sitting, or when you are standing, you can always do this. And also remember, in the very first episode I told you that put your hands against the wall and stretch your back. So back, the front part, and the anterior part and the posterior part should be exercised equally. So this is what I wanted to tell you, that exercise for all the organs of your body. Don't miss out your eyes, don't miss out your tongue. Do stretching of your mouth, open your mouth, okay? Eyeballs rotation left and right. These are some basic exercises which you should be doing whenever you get time, except not after having food. After having food, you always sit in a Vajrasana position. In the next episode, I'll be concluding episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and in which I'll be telling you the complete conclusion part, that how you should live throughout the day. I have told you about the biped position. I have told you about neuromuscular coordination, or the muscle memory, the pain tolerance, emotional resilience. So emotional resilience, I will be stressing a little more and letting you know, because in our lifetime we often come across many casualties, many things which we never expected. But then you should not drain into it. Get back to work. So the first part of this episode, self-reliant. Do it all by yourself the whole day. That will keep you young. Thank you. Namaste.